Old. This thriller film begins with a resort van moving through the woods in a road leading to their destination. Children are singing inside when we meet a small family of Guy Cappa and Prisca, the parents, and Maddox and Trent. Prisca is amazed by the children singing and notes to them that she cannot wait to hear their voices when they are older. They arrive at the resort and are welcomed by a fine young woman, Madrid, who presents them with some cocktail beverage as they had noted about their preferences. The children are also informed that theirs is available if they would like to have some, and they rush to the station where their drinks are made. They meet Idlib and Trent becomes friends with him. The children are playing in the room when they are warned about many injuries happening around a coffee table. They are off when they come back in their swimsuits, and their father jokes to them that the beach does not allow children. They all head off to the beach anyway as Trent meets Idlib, the manager's nephew, once again, and they get to play together by asking the grown-ups their names and what they do for a living. On the other end, Maddox is not able to make friends and she is not having a good time yet. Later that evening, Prisca and Guy are in an argument about why they are separating and when they will tell the children about the separation and Prisca's disease. They argue about back and forth, oblivious to their children hearing in the other room. Maddox tries to distract her brother from the quarrel as Trent tries to decode a letter from Idlib about the following day being ice cream day, and he giggles about the message. We briefly see Sedan at some beach with his girlfriend about to jump in the water for a swim. The following morning, we meet Crystal and her daughter ordering a diet rich in calcium. At another table, Guy's family is also having their breakfast together when they are approached by the resort manager asking about their day's plan. He suggests a small private beach that is hard to find in private, but he would make the arrangements for them to be taken there to spend some time. Trent sees Idlib and waves at him. His uncle, the resort manager, comes and takes him away. Meanwhile, Patricia collapses with a seizure and Charles, who is a doctor, advises her husband Jern, who is a nurse, to put a pillow underneath her head and leave her there to recover. He does so, and they introduce themselves when Patricia recovers and thinks that she ruined everyone's breakfast. After breakfast and as arranged, Guy and his family hop into the van. After a short drive, they are joined by Crystal, her daughter Kara, her husband Charles, and Charles' mother. The driver comes in, and they leave for the private beach. They are directed to the beach by the driver, who refuses to go with them. The driver also tells them to call when they are ready to leave, or he might just pick them up at 5 in the evening. They all carry their stuff and follow the trail through the canyon to the private beach. Everyone sets up their station as they notice mid-sized sedan. Everyone enjoys themselves except Prisca, who continues reading her book. Guy wants to tell his wife something but then changes his mind, and they just sit looking at the children playing nearby. The children get bored and leave to play somewhere else. Maddox also notices some toys buried under the sand and also some hotel knives, but they are advised to put them back as they could get infected from the rust. Trent goes into the water under the rocks and enjoys himself. He is scared by the floating body of a naked lady. He shouts for his mother, and everyone gathers around as Prisca keeps the children away. Sedan comes by only to find his dead girlfriend, explaining that she swam by herself and that he was waiting for her to come back. They are suspicious of Sedan as he questions them if he would still be there if he had anything to do with her girl's death. They decide to leave him but still keep an eye on him. Just then, Jaren and Patricia enter the beach only to find a dead person and are scared. Crystal calls Charles about his mother feeling unwell but then explains that it is nothing to be scared about. Jaren offers to go ask for help through the canyon but then does not go any further and finds himself at the beach having blacked out. Prisca goes to see Charles about her assumed reaction of her son, but then he does not believe it because he can see him playing with his daughter. Charles is called again by Crystal that his mother just stopped breathing and tries to resuscitate her to no success. Trent and Maddox are playing with Patricia and Jaren about names and occupations. When the questions are reversed, Jaren tries to guess the age of Trent, guessing about 11 or 10 but surprised to hear he is 6. Prisca goes looking for her children and cannot believe how much older they have become in a matter of minutes. Guy is also in shock when he comes to tell his wife that they should leave the beach, and her daughter hugs him calling him dad, yet his daughter was a small girl a few minutes ago. All this while, Sedan is watching the confusions, death, and panic happen, and he tries to run off through the canyon, and Charles chases after him. A few meters further, They both get intense pressure in the head and blackout, waking up back at the beach. Everyone feels that they should leave, but Jaren warns them of people blacking out if they try to leave through the canyon. Prisca feels the need to take the children to the hospital, and that they should find an exit. They divide into groups of 2 people in case they black out. Each way they try, everyone ends up back at the beach unconscious. Prisca is scared, thinking the children are reacting to something they ate, and wants Charles to look at the kids, but Charles still blames Sedan and cuts his face. As they argue and Jaren tries to look at the wound, it magically heals. Sedan tries to explain to the others how the trip was supposed to be a good one as they were both sick, wrapped up in the disease, and needed some happy moments at the resort. They are all distracted about the death of a dog just moments after it seemed fine. Prisca offers her daughter Maddox her swimsuit as she is now older and her swimsuit is getting tighter as she goes to change. Jaren asks the group about anyone who can manage to swim and find help, but no one offers. Maddox and Sedan start talking about the changes they have undergone since the previous day and that moment. Patricia calls everyone around to try to figure out why everyone came to the resort. As soon as they begin, Prisca starts to feel unwell due to the tumor in her stomach that was about 3 centimeters and now looks like the size of a soccer ball. Charles, the doctor, offers to do surgery on her, but as soon as she is cut, the wound closes back. They all need to help keep the wound open to take the tumor out, and they do. When the cut closes, Prisca wakes up feeling better. Nostalgic Sedan goes to see her dead girl covered in a towel only to find the body already decomposed. They all start figuring out that time is tampered on the beach as they are aging rapidly and discover that they are starting to have wrinkles. Trent and Kara are in a towel tent comforting each other as their thoughts also change. They all realize that they could age to about 50 years in just a day while at the beach. Jaren tries to get the group to leave the beach slowly, one step at a time, and they might just survive when they realize that Trent and Kara are missing. On calling them out, they approach holding hands, and Kara is about 5 months pregnant in 20 minutes. As they continue to come to terms with what just happened, her pregnancy progresses in growth and she gives birth where she was. As soon as the baby takes its first breath and cries, it dies, and everyone is traumatized. They are informed that the baby dies because of the speed at which time is moving there and cannot keep up. Everyone is scared, some are angry, confused, and emotional at that time. Charles even ends up stabbing Sedan to death. He walks away and sits far away while Jaren and Guy take the knife from him and hide it in a bag. Jaren offers to swim and find help, and his wife needs her medicine, so he swims away. The others try to contemplate finding another way by climbing up above the canyon, but no one wants to volunteer their family. Just then, Prisca and Guy are discussing how they strangely came to the resort and that the resort can make them disappear, and they all realize that they were chosen. Maddox confronts her mother after realizing that her mother and father were about to separate and also for another man. She is mad at her mother for not telling them the truth earlier, even after Prisca tries to explain herself. Maddox is stressed and walks to the water when she is met by Jaren's dead body, and she runs out of the water screaming. Kara and Trent go to bury their baby, and angered, Kara tries to climb up the canyon but falls down and dies. After that, Patricia falls down with a seizure, ending her life. Charlie disappears as she does not want to be seen old. Guy's eyesight becomes blurry with old age as he sits with his wife confessing to each other about how Guy had already seen his wife's romantic text with another man, and they forgive each other, deciding to be happy for the rest of the remaining time. Maddox and Trent also discover a book with names and stories of those who have been at the beach previously and also a camera at the top of a mountain recording them. Charles comes to attack Guy. Prisca asks the children to hide. When she comes back with a rusted knife, she cuts Charles, and he quickly dies of infection. Trent and Maddox come across traumatized Crystal, and as she tries to attack them, her bones break, leading to her ultimate death. Prisca and Guy spend their time together with their children before dying minutes apart as the day ends. The following morning, Trent discovers a way out using a code given to him by his friend Idlib, and they manage to escape via the coral. Van Driver, as he was the one watching the group's time on the beach from the mountain, reports back to the manager thinking that they are all dead. Trent and Maddox called the police on the resort as it was conducting experiments on people's diseases without their consent, and the beach helped them test the medicine in one day instead of a lifetime. They are taken back home, still as old people as they were the previous day. Thanks for watching. Click the subscribe button and watch the above video for more entertainment.